What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's been talking about Kevin Love giving up on on a play because they're only watching one little clip. They didn't watch the whole game or watch it just even 2 minutes more and get context on what actually happened. But that brings me to this, man, and it's just so shocking. It's like Kevin Love is a trending topic. I'm like, I was just doing the Kevin Love video today. This is the truth behind the trade with Kevin Love for Klay Thompson. Now, a lot of people are oblivious that this actually took place because of social media. Everything changes so quick. You don't have a chance to appreciate anything because or remember it because things move so fast. That's how they're able to switch something else in there and it takes your attention away. At the time, people remembered this, but it's been so many years removed. People memory is like, that actually happened? And it's like, yeah, it did. So for a lot of people, this was a mistake that was made on the parts of a lot of people that was involved. But I'm here to tell you guys the truth about this trade that was proposed. You have not been told the truth. Uh-uh. All these people who've reported this Klay Thompson trade for Kevin Love, they've only been reporting to you a portion of what actually happened. And it's weird to me because I only know what happened because I knew some people who were involved in this, and Draymond Green. Draymond Green was a member of the team. He was early on at this time. And the players knew what was going on, except except the sports media. And I'm like, how did the sports media miss this? And only decided to write. I guess they were told, the beat writers was told, like, this is what they fed them. Like, you're going to get this portion of it and this portion of it only. Now, to get to the gist of the story, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit the like button while you're here so that they know you're not bots. You like the video, so therefore it can be shared. People love it. Outstanding. You want to support the page? Cash App is Carcino, Karceno. You know, love to see your message on the Patreon as well as Cash App. I'm Carcino for life on the Patreon, in case you remember there. But let's get to the gist of it. This goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, okay? The Minnesota Timberwolves and Kevin Love had come to an impasse. You know, this was it. They were not going to move forward with Kevin Love. Kevin Love was tired of losing. So when you start thinking of the team in general and what was going on with them as far as, you know, their history and everything about them, and their contracts and things of that nature, they were just ready to go. You know, they were not happy with their situation. They were ready to be traded. I mean, to move on from Kevin Love and thank him for all the years he gave them. But they were not going to commit to any other type of money for Kevin Love. It was just done. So they were looking for suitors to take Kevin Love away. Now, there were many teams that proposed deals for Kevin Love. But one of the most attractive deals that they had was Golden State. Kevin Love didn't have a problem playing with the Golden State Warriors. They had just won 51 games. Mark Jackson had turned this team around, and this was like a huge deal for them all together. So they were like, hey, this is a pretty good deal for us. We might as well take it. Now, when it came to the proposed deal, Golden State actually reached out to Minnesota. Minnesota didn't reach out to Golden State. So this is where the mix up comes into play. Now, a lot of people had it the other way around, but no. They actually heard that Kevin Love was on the market, and they thought they needed another star, another veteran to play alongside Steph Curry, somebody who had an inside presence and who could grab rebounds and things of that nature. Kevin Love was coming off a 24, 12, and 5 season. So they felt this is the guy we need. This is the could get us to the next level. And Kevin Love, that's the guy we need. Now, what they didn't understand is that this trade was going to be something that was monumentally changing of the guard for the team. It was going to make the team, but then split up your development as well. Now, here's what they did not tell you. The player that they was trading was David Lee, not Klay Thompson. David Lee was going to be traded for Kevin Love. This is what the Golden State Warriors were willing to do. They were going to give up a draft pick and David Lee for Kevin Love. That was going to be the deal that was on the table. David Lee, who had been injured a lot that season, who had came back, played some years, was very close friends with Klay Thompson. And they were like buddy, did a lot of things together that year. So while they were trying to figure it out, this was happening in the summer of 2014. Changes started developing because they sent a counter offer to them saying that they wanted more. So Kent Bazemore, who's on the team now, he's back on the team. Bazemore was involved in the trade with David Lee. And they rejected the trade and sent in a counter trade that included David Lee and Klay Thompson. And Bob Myers was like, wow, they didn't really want to give up Klay Thompson, but that's who Minnesota was requesting, and they were going to approve the trade. And Bob was like, oh, well, I think that's a fair deal. We hate to lose Klay, but at least we're getting Kevin Love. And Jerry West, who's the advisor to Bob, because he knows basketball and personnel, told Bob, I hear you talking about the deal's done, and you're like, yeah, we're agreed in principle already to this trade. This trade was going down. Jerry West came and said, do not make that trade. And he's like, why not, Jerry? He's like, I'm telling you, I have a very bad feeling about this. You shouldn't ruin that backcourt. Having a backcourt in basketball is the most important thing you can ever have, because that's going to be a long tenure, and you got two young guards who you can have for about 5-6 years that work really good together as a tandem. If you split this up now, you can do monumental damage to your team because your whole game is going to change now if you bring in Kevin Love into this offense. And this was done because they saw Draymond Green's emergence as a ball handler, as bringing the ball up and making it easier for Steph Curry to not have to be the all-time facilitator and setting up his own offense and things of that nature. The offense can flow through Draymond, who could play the point guard position as well as moving and rotating over. So David Lee became expendable. They could move David Lee, plus he was injury prone. So the trade got vetoed because Jerry West was so adamantly against it. But we knew David Lee was involved because Draymond Green knew that David Lee was basically going to be moved out and he was going to be bumped up to where he was going to be starting now and was going to be the man. So they knew all the way. So that deal didn't go through, but David Lee was eventually moved. I believe he was moved to the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. But he was moved. And the Kevin Love deal fell through. And then next thing you know, LeBron announced that he was going to Cleveland. And things started to go a different way because they did a trade and they got Kevin Love with LeBron James. And he got to play with, I think they that's what sent Wiggins over there to the Timberwolves. And then they ended up getting Bennett. And then they got Thaddeus Young from Philly and all kind of stuff was going on. But that's what made the trade go through. A lot of strings was pulled to get Kevin Love to Cleveland to help LeBron. The league helped facilitate this. And there was a whole lot of criminal activity that took place, but they got it done. So now they got what they wanted, and they brought Kevin Love in, and that was the piece they felt that they needed to get to the top. And he was almost a Golden State Warrior, and who would have thought that year on, that would be the 5-year battle. Golden State and Cleveland, Kevin Love versus Golden State, the team he was going to go to, going back and forth for 5 straight years. So that's what really happened with the trade. So at the time, Klay Thompson was young, so it was no Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. Klay was not the Klay Thompson yet, so it wasn't just a straight up trade. It was about David Lee more than it was about Klay Thompson. But Klay ended up being a sticking piece in that trade that they weren't willing to give up. So anyway, like I said before, hit the like button. You got 4 other videos above your head to click on and watch. Some you probably missed. So definitely pay attention to that. And, we keep giving it to you raw. The Patreon still got a lot coming up there. Don't think the month's over and we taking it easy. Nope. We just ready to knock your head off again with something else. So we just being patient. So I'm out. Peace.